Hey, welcome back to the channel, my fellow weather junkies. I'm your host, meteorologist Greg Majeski, your trusted weather source, bringing you the weather without all that social media hype. Here on your Thursday, February 27th, 2025. Let's go and take a look at what we're tracking here for today. Is we're expecting eastern cool down. We've got a couple of cold fronts coming down here across the east. That's going to back those temperatures off, especially going in towards Sunday. We're going to give you a critical update on the midweek severe weather that we're expecting to track across the southeast. And yes, there's a tornado risk with this, and we'll explain why here in this report. And then we're also talking about some California rains returning. It's been a little bit dry out there recently, but it looks like we'll see several systems bringing in a threat of rain across California as we go for the days ahead because of a more progressive weather pattern that's kind of evolving across the country. Now, before we get going, first I want to say thank you to our new subscribers out there. And if you're that 60% out there have not yet subscribed just yet, what you waiting for, my friend? Please hit that subscribe button in that lower right-hand corner. Again, hit that notification bell so you're alerted on future content. Give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. It does help with that almighty YouTube algorithm. All right, let's take a look at the big picture here nationally here across the country as we have a fertile system here extending into the northeast. We get some rainy weather through Pennsylvania into New York, a little bit of showers down here toward Texas as well. And really not looking bad over most of the country. Most of the system's up into Canada, I should say. And we got this upper level low here that's going to come in across Southern California here in the next couple of days, but really not looking too bad here for most of the nation here on your Thursday. Now, looking from coast to coast, from watches and warnings, got some fog along the Gulf Coast, but really not bad. A couple of little winter weather advisories up in the northeast. A little wind out here with a tan here across Arizona and California, but otherwise really not looking too bad here. A little high wind warning here across areas of the Dakotas as well. All right, looking at the big picture, here's your national map here. Again, cool. I wouldn't really call this cold by, end of February standards. You're in the 30s up here. This is well above where they should be, but we do have some cold air that's going to be kind of coming down across this area as we go into this upcoming weekend. Seeing the snows there across areas of New England, and we do have the rains there across Pennsylvania as well. In fact, we'll go on a little bit closer, take a look at some of this rains here up toward Williamsport, Harrisburg, getting in some rain as well. Some rain just moving all the way through State College. And again, this system should begin to exit the area, and we should see things begin to improve here in this part of the country a little bit later today. Let's go and take a look at the latest from the Storms Prediction Center. We do have a few days of some general thunderstorm threat, and then we're also going to talk about what the long range is looking for as far as the severe weather is concerned. So let's go ahead and talk about the next few days first. Again, what we're looking at is just a general thunderstorm threat with that system that's clearing here in the east. And again, not a whole lot of it. It'll be very isolated here with that system here on your day one outlook. So how does this look for your day two? Let's go to, switch over to your day two outlook here as well. And we're going to shift out toward California with that next system coming on in here. So maybe you see a rumble of thunder or two kind of riding into there. That's a possibility there. And as we go into your day three, just a sliver right there along the coastal areas of Oregon and into portions of California. But that's about it for those days. What's of more interest is what we expect going in towards your next week. So as we go into our day six outlook, that is when things get hot and heavy. And right now we're looking at that up chance here in the orange here across Texas and in toward Mississippi. And right now, the way I'm thinking with this system, the way things are coming together is either a slight or enhanced area for severe weather with this. And yes, there will be a tornado risk with this. And I'm going to break that down why here in just a second. But this is for your, again, going into Tuesday, going into Wednesday, and this will shift off toward the east, even on your day seven. Very rarely do you see a day seven outlook for severe weather, but we're seeing that here across the mid-Atlantic and switching back into Georgia as we go into your Wednesday and Thursday, as that storm system begins to clear that area. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about what we're going to see as far as excessive rainfall. Nothing for the next 3 days. 3 days, not a problem there. Now, it does change, however, as we go look at our hazard outlook for 3 to 7 day outlook. Obviously, with that severe weather risk we're watching for next week, you got a heavy rain risk in there. Obviously, you see the severe weather risk in there as well right there. And obviously, we got some windy conditions here with a couple of these little systems coming out through the west coast and into the southwest. But that's what we're looking at for our hazards outlook going in toward next week. So let's go ahead and break this down. What are we going to see what we're going to see here for next week? We're going to look at the jet stream first. That's our main component that drives the weather here across the country. So when you look at this, you might say, oh, we got a little curl here off the coast. It's really not that energy. It's actually this piece of energy right back here that's going to be diving down. That's the one we're going to watch going into next week. That's going to be bringing the potential for this active severe weather. So let's go ahead and take this on forward. That upper level low kind of comes into Southern California. as you see going into Saturday. So that's what's going to bring a little bit of rain there with that system. And then we're watching this trough back here that's going to be digging in here across the central portion of the country. So it's going to kind of pinch off an upper level feature there, as you see, as we go into Sunday night and Monday. Here's our upper level feature right there. And we got this nice little kink in the jet stream right here. As that moves inland, it's going to get into a configuration going into Tuesday, which is going to be very pronounced for severe weather. So as we go out to right about there, here's our low pressure right here coming in across Colorado. We have this flow like this. So it's a diffusion flow, which means you get some good jet energy aloft. You get wind shear that's going to be there as this begins to make that pivot. And it even begins, as it gets later in the day, begins to take what we call a little bit of a negative tilt. So it's tilting back a little bit here with the trough, so that it adds to the spin of the atmosphere. The only question when you're dealing with severe weather events this time of year is how much instability you're going to have. So that's something we'll have to watch closely as we get closer. So this system begins to pull off toward the east and tracks into the southeast as we go throughout the day there on your Tuesday and into Wednesday. So this moves and ejects off very quickly as we go into next week. Then we'll watch for our next little system. This one here, this trough looks like this will be kind of tracking along the Gulf Coast. I don't know if that'll be severe or not, but could be providing some thunderstorms there along the Gulf Coast with this pretty pronounced trough here. And we'll see another cool down here going into the 8th and 9th. You see some ridging here across the west, so they'll get to dry out there in California after a few storm systems go through that area. And then go ahead and take this all out. Again, we're beyond the 10 days, so we're just kind of extrapolating here. But one thing's for sure is you got a very, what I call a progressive flow, which means we got a parade of storm systems, one after another. So there's one here, here's another one here. You got a very active subtropical jet stream right in here. So we'll have to watch how these things line up. And this moves on through. So you got some rains here coming into New England. Here's another storm system back here. We'll have to watch as it ejects out going into the 13th and 14th. So getting into that time of year, meteorological spring is March. And when you get these clash of these air masses, so we're going to have to watch very closely for that active severe weather. Let's look at the high resolution data here. Okay, we're going to be watching this system here begin to exit. We got another little system that's going to drop down here out of Canada. And then, of course, we're going to watch that upper level low here as we go for the next, say, 36 to 40 hours here on the high resolution model. So we watched again, some snows there across areas of Maine there. It looks like pretty good bursts of snow there going into the afternoon here on your Thursday there. Again, we're going to watch this system kind of drop in here as well. And again, we'll go in throughout the day on Thursday. It begins to clear on out. There's that next system coming in out of Canada, coming into the Great Lakes, going into your Friday morning. So we got some of that there. And you kind of get the hints of that upper low here just off the coast there, California, going into your Friday. So that begins to move inland. It's not very strong. It's just a nice little swirl there. So you see some of that rain, some of the showers there across Southern California there. And again, we'll see the snows as another cold shot comes down here going into Saturday and Sunday. And it's that next frontal system there that's going to really kind of drop things off temperature-wise across the east. In fact, you see a little bit of some lake effects start to take place there across Lake Michigan as a result of that colder shot coming on down. So let's go ahead and talk about the precipitation. Again, we're going to take this now from basically where the high resolution ended there, from Saturday night or Friday night going into Saturday, I should say. So we got the snow. Here's our cold shot, bringing some additional snows here. Here's our cold shot coming down. Here's the upper level feature down there across Southern California. And we'll go ahead and take this forward here. As that cold air comes on down south, look where that freezing line, that 540 line, comes all the way down into North Georgia right again. So we got colder temperatures coming down into the south. Areas there, like for example, North Georgia, that's all 70s. They'll cool off into the 40s behind this as that cold air kind of makes its presence felt. It'll be hit and run, though. It's going to move on out very quickly as we got a little disturbance there going into Monday. That's not the one to watch. As we go into your Tuesday afternoon, it'll be this area. Again, you got the low pressure right here. We'll have snows on the backside of this. This will be where the severe weather will be its greatest, coming into East Texas and firing into Louisiana as we go into Tuesday night. All right, so the K index, that severe index for thunderstorm tracking, as I pull that up, you see it here, right into the 30s and 40s. So again, I think right now a slight to marginal risk for severe weather as this begins to track across the southeast here. And again, as I kind of pull this forward, you see this kind of track here into Mississippi, pretty close to 40 on the index. Again, this is not a probability of whether you're going to have severe weather. This is a probability of thunderstorms, okay? So I think we're pretty good safe to bet with the dynamics that we have, we're going to see severe weather and possible a few thunderstorms. It does weaken a little bit, though, as it comes into Georgia and then kind of flares up a little bit with the daytime heating going into your Wednesday there as this kind of sweeps through Georgia and off the eastern seaboard. So it looks like Tuesday evening and Tuesday night is when things will be the strongest probability for the severe weather, especially going into Mississippi here as we go into the 4th and into the 5th. So let's go back over here to the model data here. Is they're going to take this forward as we kind of track this on through. This moves on off, and then we got another cold shot coming down here once again. Notice the cool air coming in here across a big part of the country. We'll have to watch this next system. This one's going to track along the Gulf Coast, though. This looks like a little more of a southerly track on this one as this comes on down south. So it comes on along the south. Maybe a few thunderstorms there, say, across Louisiana and into Florida. So this is going into the 7th and 8th of March. Again, we got some lake effect snows and some snows across the Great Lakes there. Another system out here on the West Coast as well, going into that Friday and into that Saturday on the 7th and 8th. This goes forward. Get a little bit of a break here going into the 9th. We are still looking a little cool there, a little snows across the Great Lakes. Definitely much milder out here, that's for sure. We start to warm back up again. And I tell you, the timing of these warm-ups and cool-downs, that's the big thing with this active storm track. So as we go into the 11th, we watch another disturbance come on out. We'll have to watch again for more thunderstorms out here once again going into the 11th and 12th with this system as we get another pull out here, another system out here on the West Coast. So again, things start to get a little more active. The last week in February was kind of slow. Well, we definitely pick right back up again. Again, watching thunderstorms potentially 12th and 13th across the south exit. And then we get another system out here on the west that we have to watch as it ejects out. What it does is it heads toward the middle of March. So very, very active, my friends. Let's get ready for it. All right, let's go ahead and take a look over here at the precipitation chances here. Again, the next 72 hours, not bad. Except for the northeast. They're obviously getting the rain there right now. And going out for the next 3 days. It's really not looking too bad here. Most of this is going to fall today. This comes in a little bit late, but most of the country here looking pretty dry. Southeast, middle of the country looking pretty good. Then as we go on out toward the 10-day on this is when things get a little more interesting here. Going out toward the 10-day here, again, you kind of see the more rains here across the east for sure. The northwest seeing a more active flow there with heavy rains as well. And then we'll take this out to all the way out to kind of get the expectation of a more progressive pattern. You see how much more the country is definitely getting in on the rainfall. Let's look at the snow threats on this. Again, same thing. Next 72 hours is basically there into the northeast. That's what we're expecting the snow here, as with a couple of those cold shots coming on in. But that's about it going into this weekend. Beyond that, we'll see things begin to pick up again as the pattern picks up as well. We'll see more and more of snow here, kind of tracking here across the country. So there we go. These ejecting storm systems bringing some snows there across the plains, and they're going out to 240 there. Again, the New England, once again, there's a surprise. Seen that all winter long. Seeing more here across areas of California and Washington State. Intermountain gets a little more, especially out there into Colorado. And we'll take Salmo out to the end of its run as well. And definitely seeing more activity out here in the west is seeing the higher elevations picking up with the snows. Even a little bit of snows even showing up there with some of those colder shots there across the Smoky Mountains as well. So let's go ahead and track the cold air clashes. That's the fun part this time of year, that is for sure. Let's go take a look at this. Again, your snapshot look here on your Thursday. Most of the country, pretty warm. When you see a lot of those reds and oranges in here, that's definitely very warm. But we're going to change that going into this weekend. Watch the first cold down here. Here it comes, coming on down here as we go towards Sunday. So big part of the country here seeing a cool down, except for the west. We'll keep warm out there in the west here a little bit. And as we go on out here again, we'll take this on out to the end of its run. And you see that pulls on out. And then you've got to watch this system. This is where the clashes are taking. This is our storm system here with the clash of the colder and warmer air going into your Tuesday and Wednesday. This will move off toward the east and cool it down going into the 6th. So there's our next cool down. Actually, a lot of the country there is looking at below normal temperatures here going into the 6th. But they'll be brief. Again, we got these little intermittent warm periods in between. So we got the cold air across the east going into the 8th. Warmer out here into the west, obviously seeing the reds out here in the west going in toward the 8th of March. So that's out 10 days. And then we'll go and take a look at the extrapolation heading on out here. It looks like we see things warm up going into the 11th. And then we'll have to watch, it looks like a pretty pronounced cold front right through here. We'll have to watch that potential for severe weather there as well in the 12th. definitely cooler out here into the west going into the 12th as well. And then taking this out to the end of its run as that frontal system moves on through. You can clearly see a nice front right there. We'll have to watch to see the thunderstorm threat with that one going into the 12th and 13th. And it moves on up. Definitely much cooler out here in the west. Look at that big cool down on the end of this. It's got cool, got a warm, got a cool. So again, as these things clash in between, we got to time and see how the jet stream is positioned, where's the cold and warm air hook up, and how active is that jet energy when these systems progress from west to east. All right, let's go take a look at the final outlook here from the Climate Center. We'll see how they're doing. I really feel for these guys trying to time out these Climate Prediction Centers forecasts out this far is kind of hard, that's for sure. Milder here from the 4th to the 8th, colder here out on the west, okay? So then we kind of make it near normal here in the east, warm in the middle, cooler out here in the west. So again, this is a progressive pattern. You're going to constantly get these fluctuations back and forth with the frontal systems and the storm systems. The track is definitely much more active. You see that from the 4th to the 8th out here on the west coast, and especially across areas of the Ohio River Valley heading into the northeast as we get from the 4th through the 8th. And as we head deeper into the month, going out from the 6th to the 12th, still active here, a little bit drier out there toward Texas, and still active here on the west coast. Again, seeing a very progressive, active weather pattern here from west to east as we go deeper into the March. And then that obviously opens up the front door for more severe weather that we're going to have to track. But right now, more concern is what we're expecting here for next week as we watch that severe weather here across the southeast going into your Tuesday and Wednesday. So you folks across the southeast need to get ready for that. To make sure you have your weather apps ready to go, be ready and prepared. I always like to promote the Midland radios, good thing to have there, just in case you have any severe weather. And Weather Call is also a great service to have as well, so where you get that automated service there. And we're going to be promoting that here pretty soon here on the channel. All right, that is it for now. Again, I appreciate everybody checking out my update for today. Again, I kind of give it to you straight. Don't go over the top and don't hype things to death like half the YouTube universe does out there. I just want to keep you informed and keep you ready. So if you like this kind of approach to weather, I'd love to have you join us and be part of this family. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're alerted on future content. And as always, if you got something you'd like to see or you got a question, please post it down below. I'll be more than happy to answer your question. All right, that's your update for now. You guys take it easy, be good, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next update. Till then, you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.